Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things mecha. Jump ship incoming.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Mobile Armor Radio, episode 49, season 5, episode 1.
Woo!
Yay! 5 years.
It's a whole new year.
I can't believe I started our little journey, first host, 5 years ago.
Wow.
I'm also in awe that we've known Brian for 5 years.
We've known him from more
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It seems a lot longer, though, like double.
Time flies. That's for sure.
And we definitely don't get any younger, that's for sure.
Mm.
All right, so what else? Any more banter?
No, we're good. You're running on 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it's
Did
true.
You want to do your?
No, I'm gonna do that at the Mech Bay.
Okay. Well.
All right. Hey! I'm directing this ship.
I was going to say we're going to put an edit there. That's all I was going to say, but that's all right.
Oh, I think we should just leave it.
Well, this is all
Well,
in.
now
We're
we
leaving
have
it
to.
all in. You
It's
yelling
the
at me?
edit.
We'll do it live.
We have to keep
I
the
thought you were
jump ship long because otherwise it's depressing.
I love the fact that you just call it jump shat.
Jump shat. Jump
It's
shot.
it's when you shat when you jump.
It makes up for how quickly I run them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. We have to even it
Right.
out.
We're
Here. Let's go.
We're gonna change the name on the masthead to Brian No Hassle in the Jump Ship Novak.
Yep. And get us from A to B.
That's right.
All right, so let's move into the dropship and see what everyone's doing.
Dropship landing.
All right, welcome to the dropship, my friends, and let's talk about what we have been working on. Brian, let's start with you.
Sure. Well, I don't have any model projects currently. I had been working on a whole bunch of terrain last time I think we talked, and but since then, one project that I have been working on that's kind of related is I've been working on. There's a quarterly writing contest for kind of Mantic fan fiction. Held in a Facebook group called the Ronnie the Bard of Mantica. And every quarter we get a new theme and whatnot. And I decided for this quarter is that I was going to write a story about mecha in the Warpath universe. So I've got a big stompy Strider versus a graceful lithe Spectra. And then I'll probably also throw in some big, mean, nasty aberration in there as well.
Mm.
So just a big old monster slugfest.
Well, you kind of almost cover all genres of mecha/anime.
Right?
You got the kaiju, you got the more elegant anime
Yep.
mecha, and then you have the standard
Real
BattleTech mecha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real robot ones, yeah. So it should be fun. It's shaping up quite well. At the time of this recording, I have 3 days to finish it, including today. So
Well,
Nice.
when you get it done,
I've
we'll put a
got,
link in the show notes to it. So just
Yeah. for sure.
I would like for you to consider ending the story as all three of them become friends and become a combiner robot.
That is a good option, and I'm going to take that under advisement. The theme for this quarter was defeat.
Mm.
So, yeah, we'll see how that all works out for everybody.
All right. Is that it? Anything else you've been working on?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. My 3D printer has been working again, strangely enough, as I run out of filament. But yeah, otherwise, the other project I think I may have mentioned I started is that I 3D printed a whole bunch of kind of textured bases from Monster Fight Club, and I think it was Monster Fight Club. And I'm planning to rebase my entire GCPS Force. I have them on the blank flats, painted black discs for right now, but I figured it's time for me to kind of step that up a little bit, and figured they were a good unit to start with that. So I've printed all the bases. I've got their kind of prime and base coat done. So now I basically just need to go hit them with probably Nuln Oil to give them a little shading, and then hit them with some dry brushing to give them a little more depth. Dry brushing is something I do need to practice, so I figured that would be a good one to do it on. So
hit them with your best shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire away. Bases for sure. Dry brushing on them pops them, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what have you been working on, Rob?
I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. Obviously, that's our stories nowadays, but the first thing I printed was a ballista mech from Ratapoon K. He's I can't remember what he's in, Southeast Asia somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it is, but he's does a lot of 3D printed mechs. He designs them, and he also has a skirmish game coming out soon, which should be interesting. But these are really detailed, cool, giant mechs. I guess I talked to him later. I guess you're supposed to print them at 50%, so they're huge, the ones I printed, but I love them. So I printed 2 of his mechs so far. I will have the link in the show notes to where you can purchase his... these ones were free, but you can also buy whole
sets. You posted this, didn't you? This is the quad
I have a
pedal.
Quad one, and the ballista's the bipedal version. The quad one I think I talked about last month. So, yep, it's he's been doing cool stuff. So I've been printing those up, and they are cool and giant. I've also printed up from John Bear Ross. I've printed up the Raptor mech he's been designing, and once again I'll have a link for that too. And he has a new Kickstarter coming. He has a new Kickstarter coming out soon with a Scorpion mech, which I can't wait. It's good. It looks awesome. Huge claws, like. I think I don't know if it's a unit in 40K, but it's that's his pretty much background is 40K stuff. So it's a lot of alternate sculpts for 40K monsters. So I assume that's something in 40K is a giant scorpion, but it looks awesome.
Oh, I wonder if he redid a Talos. That's an old vehicle. I don't even know if that's even still
the Dark Eldar thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I'd have to see it, but I don't know.
Yeah, that is a scorpion-looking thing.
I don't know, but I don't know if that thing is even still a unit in the game.
Probably not. That came out in 3rd edition.
Comment below what if this is for 40K, what it is, or if it's just for funds. Because you always just need a giant scorpion mech. So, but anyways, yeah, the Raptor, which is he did a bunch of bipedal mechs, and the Raptor is another one of those, and he's cool too. Lots of mechs being designed by him. Once again, I'll have the link to his Cults page, so you can check out all the different designs he's been doing. And other than that, yeah, print up lots more Transformers that I've been doing. That's about it. I think 3D printing is... I haven't painted anything. I just print them, and then I put them on my shelf. I have a lot of gray plastic on my shelves.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, so that's
kind of why I stopped on the 3D printing myself. Because I need to catch up with I got a lot of stuff I got to do.
I could not print anything and still have, until I'm dead, be able to paint stuff, so.
Yeah.
I've actually been printing more, like, hobby organizing things, like contrast. The latest thing I printed was a contrast paint, like, tiered holder.
That's cool.
Where it's like, here's a set of like 3x4, and then there's 2x4, and then 1x4. So it stacks nicely.
Too, actually, I might have to check that out. You have to send me the link for that one.
For sure.
Pat, what have you been working on?
Not too much. I still have been working on my Nishin Core. I'm really having a hard time getting this black the way I want it to work.
Like with the highlights and
stuff? For my Oni, yeah. So I since have stopped painting the Oni, and I moved on to my Paladin Force, which is coming together. I haven't taken any pictures yet, but I stayed away from the blue and white like you see on the webpage, and I kind of went with a navy blue orange thing.
Oh, that's cool.
I went with the Chicago Bear colors.
Or the
gotcha.
That's kind of like the new.
It works out
from Pacific Rim. He's that colors.
Yeah. Well, it works out because of that. That's another reason why I remembered it. And then I remember how good my my Orc Dreadball team turned out with those colors.
Mm.
So it's more really navy blue gray with some highlight orange.
Oh, yeah. So it's a lot less orange than you'd expect.
Yeah, or a lot of splashes. Just splashes of orange.
Yeah. Not full orange with blue highlights. That's what it should be.
No, that would be ridiculous. I don't even like those uniforms. But I'm going to tell you, if you haven't gotten any of these Initiacore models, if you like the small 40, 50 mil scale kind of guys, you should get some. They paint up real nice. They look real nice. The detail is really good. Our friend at Initiacore has done a great job. He's putting out some new stuff too. I think we've linked some stuff in our deal, but
yeah, even the new stuff is just looking fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hopefully playing. I'm hoping my goal was to hopefully get these two factions painted. So by the time Gen Con rolls on, I still got time.
It's a month.
We can give it a play. I mean, we might have to. I was hoping to get them done, give them a play, so we can actually maybe film a little battle report.
Yeah.
But we might have to do that when painted models. But that hurts my soul when I say that.
Yeah, I gotta order some of those and have them sent to your place because shipping to Canada sucks for anything. So.
Well, now would be the time to do it since you're coming for Gen Con.
Yeah. There's going to be a bunch of stuff arriving at your home and you'd be like, what is all this stuff?
You joke about that, but Ronnie, the owner of Mantic, his kids will DM me on Instagram occasionally, and we're like, Pat, is it okay if I sit and have some packages sent to your house? And we'll get these random packages.
Yeah, didn't you have shoes and stuff? Like it was clothing and stuff, right? Yeah.
Ronnie has to take them home to his kids.
Because they're from England, so that's even worse shipping.
Yeah, so just to give some context, they're from the UK, so. But again, like I said, I didn't do too much. Did I do anything else besides the Initiacore? Because...
Did you work on your Zhong anytime lately?
No, because I'm... so the wife wants to redo the office. So I got to take everything that's in the office and put it in the basement.
Oh, jeez.
And that's what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to rearrange the basement because most of the stuff I don't think is coming back up. Let's be honest.
And you're getting rid of a lot of the couches and stuff in the basement too anyways, right?
I already got rid of them.
Oh, they're all gone? What is your ogre going to be sitting on then?
It's actually sitting on the floor.
Brian, have you ever seen the box set to the ogre game? It is huge.
I think I did, yeah, when I stopped by one time.
Yeah, it's so we're talking about the Zhong. So what it is, I kind of moved some tables around, and so I had to kind of pack that up a little bit, so I wouldn't lose all the pieces while I was moving things around. And I haven't re-established. I have a space for model building now, separate from my painting. So that's where I'm going to put my Zhong once I get back down there just to get on that. But it's going to happen. My goal, I'm going to set myself a goal. End of the year, that Zhong will be done.
Nice. You've got time.
I do. So, but as far as what we're working on, that's pretty much it. Not too much. A little Initiacore painting, a little rearranging of stuff, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's better than it's been for a while. You guys usually are like, nope, nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the grand scheme, that's probably the best all around.
Well, I'm making a conscious effort to paint more, even if it's just by myself, singing, playing very sad songs and playing raindrops background, so... all by myself.
That's pretty depressing.
All by... Yeah, I won't do that. We'll get flagged.
Yeah, all my colors are now just drabs.
Yeah, there's no
to match his mood.
Mood miniatures.
All right, let's move on to Comstar then, since we don't have any more crafts and hobbies that we're working on. Let's go.
And away we go.
message from Comstar.
I'm Brian
And I'm Rick,
from Dead Zone the Podcast,
and you're listening to...
Mobile Armor Radio.
Are we back? Whoa, I didn't realize we were gone. Yuck, 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 yuck. All right, welcome to the drop ship.
Yep.
We're losing it. No, God, I thought I was going to make it through this with getting all these damn ones right. I have them even written down in front of me.
Oh, yeah, it's not dropship. We already did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I'm hopeless. Welcome to the Comstar. This is where we talk about the movies, the books, the comics, the RPGs, and Vidya games.
Yeah.
With a little bit of TV in the movies.
Maybe.
Let's start with you, Rob, because you always have a plethora of news you like to talk about.
Actually, there's not much news this month. It was there's hardly anything. But Red Lion has launched. We talked about it last month, but they've launched their Kickstarter. It funded nearly in one day. I think they were like $1,000 short in the first day, but it's been going gangbusters. Links to the show notes. Go back it. Get yourself a starter deck and some of the expansions. Fun stuff.
Yeah, it really is a fun game. It really is a fun game as far as cards are concerned, and I just like the fact that it's not collectible.
Yeah. I'm excited to give it a shot. I like that.
So even playing fields.
Yeah, there you go. Other than that, our friend Beetle, he's like, hey, I know you like mechs. Here's a discount code for a game, and it's called...
I didn't get one.
No, you didn't. Iron Harvest. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this.
This is on my wish list, mainly because it reminds me of that board game we were playing.
Scythe.
Scythe, yeah.
It's Diesel Punk Mech World War I-ish game. I've just started it. It's RTS, which I'm not crazy about RTSs, but as long as I'm playing solo, it's fine. It's on Good Old Games, so it's not even on Steam, but it's fun. It's
gonna, because they have it on Steam.
Yeah, but the discount code was for Good Old Games, so that's where I got it.
Oh.
It was like super cheap.
Fair.
Yeah, and it's like you're kind of like you're not Russian, but you're definitely Eastern European, and the Russian troops are kind of
you're one of the Iron Curtain countries.
Yeah, and it's it's World War I, but there's mechs in it, and they're like steampunky mechs, and it's fun. And so far, I haven't. I think I'm playing on the super easiest difficulty, and it's been fun. But I just started
RTSs are kind of like that. Like when if you don't play them like regularly, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I do not play them. I would have gotten destroyed, I'm sure, by now if I played any kind of difficulty.
I love the RTS.
This one's, so far it's simple, but I'm sure it gets more complex as you play. Like, so far you only have, like, 3 or 4 units to worry about. All I do is select them all and, like, attack everything. Actually, it's getting harder now. You have to use anti-tank and stuff, which I've have it decided to, it's that I have to hurry up. I don't like having to hurry. That's my thing. So, but it's fun.
Well, I mean, the key to RTS when you're playing by yourself or with a team is use the spacebar, man. Pause it, and then.
I wonder if you can pause it. I don't even know.
You should be able to pause any RTS with the spacebar, and then just get the lay of the land, figure out where you want to move your guys, and then and then go.
Yeah, if it does have a pause function, I would definitely try to use that. I'm not sure if it does. For TVs, I finally finished the whole Fang of the Sun Dougram, and it was fun. It's from 1981, which is amazing, but it's pretty much takes place in a colony world, and they rebel for independence, and it follows a group of young rebels as they get the Dougram, which is if anybody plays BattleTech, it's a Shadowhawk, and pretty much it's them every episode. All the Feddies send like a bunch of mechs against them, and they destroy them easily. So you're not really watching it for the mech fights. It's more for the story around it, because it does go from like just them as the rebels to like a whole army and the actual independence. And the way it ends, I won't spoil it, but really unexpected. And it's a pretty fun series. You get to see all the characters grow, and you also get to see all the BattleTech mechs, unseen mechs in action. A lot of them, like a lot of them are from like battle masters and I think Wolverines and Goliaths and things, and Shadowhawk obviously. So it is fun to see all that, and it's all free on YouTube. So you can go. Once again the show notes. I think I put them in before, but you can go find the whole 75 episodes, 20 minutes each, pretty much. So it took me a couple months to watch it all, but it's not too bad. But it's a good story. And I think it's actually even a better story than Votoms. Brian, I think you're watching Votoms if you want to segue into what you're watching. But I think I like Doug better than Votoms. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching Votoms. I only get to watch it like on my lunch break typically. So I'm usually an episode or two at a time. I'm right around episode 12 or 13. Before the end of the first disc of the Blu-ray collection of the TV show portion. And I'm definitely enjoying it. It was not quite what I was expecting with it, just because I think I was gearing up for more of a kind of war story one where we were kind of more in the thick of it. So the fact that this takes kind of place after the war during, the wandering around of people following 100 years of war.
Well, it's that first story arc does. It does get into more war stuff as you go, and it gets better as you go too. So stick with it.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I like that our hero, like, he goes through these mechs one a day.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of Dougram. Like Dougram, the whole point is it's like the perfect mech and it never gets injured, and he just uses them like toilet paper. They're just gone.
Yeah, like especially like coming from Gundam, where it is like, okay, you might get a mid-season upgrade, and that's the one time you change a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that like 12 episodes in, he's probably been through at least 8 of them by now, just because there's a couple episodes where he didn't have one. So it's just kind of fun. But no, I'm intrigued by the story. Definitely, I think it's going to be hitting its stride more. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, by the end, it's really good. Like, it is quite good. That first story arc, it was hard to get through for me. It took me a long time to get through them all, but it really gets good by the end.
Yeah, and there's 52 episodes of the TV series, so I've got 40 episodes left.
And I think there's also prequels and things like that too. So
there's like, it also, I noticed, I was looking through the Blu-ray set today, like, I think they have like compilation movies, kind of like Gundam.
Yeah, I think they do.
There is that part of me that's like, should I have just watched those? But I know there's like a bunch of OVA episodes as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of OVAs. Yeah, they're really good too.
I'll keep going through I'll keep going through the whole series and, watch it all here.
I did have a reading or watching order for it, but I think it really makes sense to watch the whole series and then watch the OVAs, because I think some of the OVAs kind of spoiled stuff that if you watch it in chronological order, it kind of spoils them a bit. So yeah, but that's a fun one. Did you have more, Rob? No, that was the end. That's why keep going.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention within the last month here, Top Gun Maverick came out, which I did go and see in theaters. They should have. That would have been pretty sweet.
That would have been
but I do gotta say, like, I really had a great time watching that movie, especially in theaters. Like, the story was, for me, it was really reminiscent of a particular episode of Area 88. And if you've seen Area 88, you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It would be a light spoiler, but a big portion of this revolves around navigating a very narrow valley at high speeds with F-18s and blowing up a target. So I won't spoil much more than that. It was really fun. I will say, like, the stunt work, like the actual plane stunts, just blew the original out of the water, or the sky, as it were. And like it definitely blurs it's hard to tell where it's fake. because
Right.
they did have real F-18s. Lockheed Martin's footing the bill on this thing to help drive up.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I'll give those guys props because a lot of them did 3, 4, 6 months, I think, worth of training to actually sit in these jets and handle the 7, 8, 9 Gs turns.
Yeah.
That they were actually shooting their faces. So there's a lot of cockpit camera work where you can actually see the G-forces really working on them.
Yeah. The cameras in a good chunk of the movie is the camera is like a GoPro setup facing them, and then like outside you can see the rest of the plane. And like I said, it could be a very good blend of CGI and whatnot, but
I think most of it is
it's
real.
hard to tell.
I'm pretty sure. 'Cause I did watch a little behind the scenes on, I forget where it was. It was maybe on YouTube. But those, I mean, granted, most of those people are not flying those things; they're sitting in the rear. But those are actual true flights.
Yeah,
and they said that they'd take the GoPro up and they wouldn't know what they'd get because for all you know, it was pointed slightly wrong, and like they had to hope that it would stay in position and get the right shot because it costs millions of dollars every time they go up. So they're like, oh, jeez, we got to get this right, So it was a lot of just luck, and they said it was I think 90% of the movie is real, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's really neat. Definitely go watch it if you are a fan of fighter jets and high speeds.
Well, if you're an 80s kid, you probably should go watch it because it does. I'm not gonna lie, I went and saw it with my nephew. But if you were like me and you actually saw Top Gun in the theater back in the day, it does close. It closes the book.
Yeah. It does that really well.
If they were going to make another movie after this one, then it would cheapen this movie.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
But this movie made so much money, I guarantee there's going to be another one.
Hollywood's too stupid not just let things rest.
No,
I also heard that you get to see Tom Cruise run, so that's all it matters.
Yeah. There he is still running. Is he like 60 years old now?
He is.
He's got to be.
He's 60. I think he is 60. Yeah.
Because I remember when
where is he running?
Edge of Tomorrow came out. He was like, the comment was that he was in 50 and he was doing more like physical workout than the rest of the crew with all that gear. He runs. He runs all the time.
Pat, did you fall asleep during the climax?
Probably. Oh, I remember when he was running.
Yeah, I won't spoil it. But no, it's a fun movie. I will say if it's a factor for you, it's very much a propaganda film, as they all are. But if you can kind of set that aside, I think it is a really fun action movie.
If you don't mind earning money for the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, but it's gotten great reviews, so you can't complain about it.
I mean, the negatives don't outweigh, I guess, the decency of the movie.
Yeah, you can't worry about that kind of stuff when you're watching a movie. It's not your job to have to figure out if you're mortals.
to stop the cults.
Yeah. But anyway, other things that I've done is that I finished my my playthrough of the Mass Effect Legendary series. So the main original trilogy for Mass Effect.
Wow.
Had a really good time playing through all that again, and blowing up a bunch of sentient alien robots, spaceship people. I went with, for those that haven't played, I went with I'll just say the Synergy ending, because it'd been commented on that, like, at the end of the day, at the heart of that game, like, especially if you're doing the Paragon route, like, technically that's the ending you should do.
Yeah, it's the best version.
If you've been, like, your whole thing has been, like, uniting all these different alien species and making them work together to set aside old grudges, like, in the grand scheme.
Murder them all at the end, right? Yeah.
or just kill them all. But yeah, that was that was a fun time, and actually, like, it got my wife interested in playing the game. She does not play like sci-fi anything. She doesn't like sci-fi movies or anything like that. So I think she really got into the character moments of the series. So she's having a fun time. She's on the second game right now, and
that was the highlight of those stories for sure. Were the characters? Yeah,
Mass Effect 2 in particular, like they were able to start having. I'm going to put air quotes around this, like start having fun with their setting. Like so much of the first game, it's kind of fairly serious in tone. It's like really establishing, the universe. And then in the second game, they can really play with it. And like, oh yeah, there's a vendor at this one shop that's selling video games that you can get for your Omni tool. And like, oh man, the graphics on this are great. This Age of Fantasy game, it's based off Turian mythology. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff like that, and they just have fun with it. And the tone is not as somber as Mass Effect 3. I kind of forgot how like oppressive they that game can be, just because it's not a happy time. But yeah. So other than that. I have also started reading Bad Dog by Ashley Pollard.
It's good, right?
I'm enjoying it so far. I was thrown a little bit just because it's like some chapters are first person and then other chapters are third person, and I'm starting to reconcile that. Because it was just a bit of like tonal whiplash.
Yeah. You're so used to one way.
Yeah, or at least consistent within one book. So it just took a little getting used to. I'm still pretty early on in the story, so been enjoying it though. And so I don't have many mecha books, so it's kind of a first fun foray into it. And then as a last thing, got to participate in the Global Dead Zone campaign, the fight for Magnetar, which was a really fun time. I think I talked about it on the show before, where you basically you're logging the results of your games, and they're going to ultimately affect the outcome of this one planet called Magnetar, and it was really fun to really kind of be in the meta of it and like really kind of fighting for a force. In my case, I was always cheering for the Rebs to win.
How'd those Rebs do?
At the peak moment for me is when one of the early districts, the entertainment district, was the first one revealed. The Rebs and the Enforcers were tied for first on that. And I was like, man, so close.
They have a chance.
And then they kind of fell back as Enforcers had more players, I think.
Well, I guess there's a lot of Veerman players on the world too. I never knew.
Yeah. Veerman, the giant space rats really kind of came out full force, which kind of works with the lore of like the story that they were kind of incorporating into the planet, and that the Veermen were kind of bursting out of the sewers, and taking over the whole place. I think they are probably mathematically coming out on top.
Yeah, I guess it was really close though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really close at a number of points.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it also really showed, just to briefly wanted to say, like, it also really showed like how balanced the factions were, because they had one of the diagrams they had for it was kind of a win-loss ratio, and like it wasn't like a straight line down, but it also wasn't like, oh, this faction lost every single game.
Yeah.
It was a pretty even line right down the middle, which I think is pretty impressive for this game. So I had a really fun time, and I can't wait to see what the official outcome turns out to be.
Everyone died.
Everyone died.
Yeah, what happens if they called the dead zone and the planet disappeared? Nobody goes there anymore.
No one goes there anymore.
I've never heard of Magnetar. What do you speak of?
Which is funny because they just had a big dread ball event there. But that's enough rambling from me. Pat, what have you been enjoying so far?
Not too much. I thought I was going to be able to finish Pacific Rim Black, but I did not. I'm halfway through still. No movie. I wouldn't saw Top Gun 2, but I'm not even going to consider it.
You're not a fanboy like Brian is?
I wouldn't say a fanboy, but we're playing loose with the definition here. I think as far as video games are concerned, I think the only thing I got that's been mech related lately, and now that you're playing stupid Iron Harvest, maybe I'll bite the bullet and get it.
Get old games if you want to play each other. That's all.
Okay. Is Starship Troopers Terran Command? It's an RTS game that showed up on Steam one day, and it's based on the movies, so it's got that whole movie campy feel to it. But it's got a ton of different units, and one of them is Space Marine mech suit.
That's the book's all about the mech suits, like that.
Yeah.
One. So I'm glad they.
So they added that unit, and I finally got to the mission where I got a couple, and I'm just wreaking havoc. But then every once in a while, this giant bug comes out, and kicks the shite out of me.
Yeah, the cartoon really showed how cool those things were. That was the first time I think they.
Yeah, and I wish they'd shown the actual mobile infantry armored suit, like in the book, in the movies. I feel like it would have been so much better.
Wow, I think also the budget would have been crazy, but that's pretty much what.
It's not like we were paying millions of dollars for Neil Patrick Harris and Denise Richards.
I think Casper Van Diem was expensive back then, but I think just the CGI
if you get to the third movie, they have giant mechs.
Do they? By then they have them, yeah.
Yeah, they have the suits in the third movie.
I've probably seen the third movie. I just don't remember.
It's a weird one.
Is that the one where they're just like on a base, kind of?
No, that's the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The third one it has the theme song. It's a good day to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I think they're on a moon in the third one. They're on a moon or something like that, I think, if I remember right.
I don't remember. Anyways, so it's a new RTS on Steam, eh? It's weird that all of a sudden that license came out of nowhere, eh?
Yeah, it just kind of showed up in my queue. You have those queues that just show up, and then you just reel through the different games that you like this because you play this game, blah, blah, blah. And so I was reeling through one of those scrolls one day, and then it showed up. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try it around. And I'm not, I don't mind a good RTS. And so far it's fairly entertaining.
Cool.
With it and stuff like that. And now that I got the mech suits, I'm like, yes, now I can talk about it. Now I can talk about it in Mobile Armor Radio.
Wow.
But as far as RTS, there's nothing spectacular about it.
Yeah,
it's just a regular RTS. Yeah.
Well, so I think StarCraft kind of wrote the book on it, and everything's just copies of that now at this point.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, the argument can be made that World of Warcraft itself was the first one because.
Oh yeah, I mean for sci-fi.
It was.
Sci-fi. Yeah.
Oh, for sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah, Warcraft.
It reminds me,
Warcraft for sure.
Like I've been watching some Let's Plays of like the Command and Conquer series again, and it just kind of reminds me like how like RTSs were a number that were very different from one another back then.
Yeah, Command and Conquer again was a good one. I mean,
Red Alert 2 was amazing.
At that time, it was probably StarCraft 2, Warcraft 2, Command and Conquer.
Well, it would have been StarCraft 1.
StarCraft 1, Warcraft 2.
Yeah, because StarCraft 2 didn't come out till like...
Yeah, that took forever to come out, that one.
A long time.
Yeah, because
all the Koreans like playing StarCraft 1. They didn't need to make another one.
Well, I mean, I remember, so this is going to lead into the MechBay hangar, but one of my good friends who just passed away, we would literally LAN our computers together in a hub and play the original Warcraft against each other.
Nice.
and that was always fun. So,
Times.
but that's it for me at the Comstar. I don't have much as far as that's concerned. It's been a very busy month as far as other things doing. So,
Well.
getting close to Gen Con, so my time is getting spent.
Short.
All right, so let's move on to the Mech Bay Hangar and talk about some stuff.
Now entering the Mech Bay Hangar.
All right, welcome to the Mech Bay Hangar, guys. This is the topic roundtable discussion forum that we got going. Just like to kind of give this Mech Bay Hangar a special shout out to my friend Don Urban, who passed away a couple of weeks ago, and the topic came out about a discussion we have during his memorial this week, and we're pouring one out for Don. RIP, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for this month's Mech Bay Hangar, I wanted to see how everyone's version of a mirror universe of your favorite mech series would look like. We can kind of do one and then just kind of go around from there. So why don't you start it out, Brian?
So when you say this, is it like, what would modern day, like, if we found our world within the space of another setting, a mech-related setting, what one would that be?
Not necessarily. Like, say we're talking multiverse kind of now. So let's say the current storylines that we have currently in play right now in print and everything, that is our reality.
Okay.
Now, if you cross the barrier into another universe, then we call it the Star Trek mirror universe, where kind of things are opposite.
Right.
In a sense, how would that look? How would you make that look in your sense of what a mirror universe would look like?
Interesting. Well, for one, everyone would have a goatee. Got to make sure that's there.
Well, which series would you pick?
You know, it'd be kind of interesting if the mirror universe. I'll pick a super robot. Let's say Gurren Lagann.
Okay, but he have a goatee, the Gurren Lagann, the big giant robot.
Yes, the mecha would have the goatee, and it would change, in shape and size, based on how manly they were feeling that day, as the case of the show is. Now, it's kind of funny because that series does actually have like short little vignettes of mirror universes and alternate realities. So it's kind of a fun meta experiment. But it would be fascinating to see Gurren Lagann like with a real robot kind of component to it. So like how?
All right.
So you have like a big core of it is definitely like the compatibility technology, right? So these mechs can join and become more powerful. And we're not going to call it magic. It'll be called something science-tanium. That's what they're powered with, and science technology. And we'll need a narrator to narrate the opening of every episode.
Vincent Price before he died.
There we go. I'm trying to imagine like the Robotech narrator, like style of narration with Vincent Price's voice.
Just think Thriller.
Timon the Digger.
Yeah.
Found himself at the bottom of a cave. But yeah, so I feel like that would be a really fascinating take on it. Where
that's actually kind of cool. I see what you're going with that.
Yeah, but like, and so maybe it's they're not actually fueled by manly energy. It's like the suits like use their blood, and it's the level of testosterone in it or something. There'd be some really stupid scientific reason, a rationale behind it, and it's like, and that their life energy, as it were, in a very scientific-y sense, is what fuels their machines. That could be really fascinating because then they do have like, you know, they the scale that series gets into, to have like some kind of like expanse level of scientific bending over backwards to explain things.
Nice.
Or the amount of blood they'd need by the end. Like they have to have more and more blood with testosterone.
So like inside they're just like drinking water and orange juice and yeah.
or they're just destroying whole cities and sucking it all up.
Yeah. So it would be kind of an interesting one to check out. And like I said, the goatees definitely have to be there.
Nice.
Except for the Spiral King. He would be beardless.
And bald.
He already has a goatee in the show.
Nice. All right. Rob, how would one of yours?
Well, the first one I thought it was Transformers, but they already do this. It's called Shattered Glass. They already have where it's all the Decepticons are the good guys and the... Oh,
is that where Nemesis Prime comes from?
Yeah. I think Nemesis Prime is something different, but it's same idea, though. I think that was the like genesis of this whole idea of having a whole alternate universe was Nemesis Prime. I think he came first. But anyways,
okay. That actually gets referenced in the SSSS Gridman show.
Oh yeah,
where like all the characters have like color patterns that match the Shattered Glass versions of characters.
Yeah, they're all like the opposite. So it's like all the Autobots are all black and purples, and all the good guys, all the Decepticons are all like whites and reds and blues. It's funny, pretty funny. They do a lot of toy line now. They have a whole Shattered Glass toy line that's just coming out, so it's pretty much a reason to repeat.
I did make a Nemesis Prime.
Yeah, Nemesis Prime. Yeah, like I said, he was one of the first. He showed up in the newest TV show too, the Netflix show.
Nice.
But my real first one, since I just finished it, would be Dougram. Because the whole point of the show is these are plucky rebels who are trying to stop this evil Federation from taking their planet, or like subjugating their planet. But instead I pictured them as actual terrorists. So they're like, you know...
so the Federation is nice people, and then they're just trying to topple it?
Yeah, imagine, just actual terrorists where you have a civilization where these people are running around with this giant robot just terrorizing the countryside. So the Earth leaders would be the good guy, like the Feddies would be the POV from them, I would assume. So it would be them trying to chase down this evil organization as it keeps growing too, as it keeps getting more and more members and getting a following, almost like a cult. And also the Earth leader has to deal with the fact that one of them, the main guy running the Dougram, is his son too. So that would be interesting from his point of view as trying to deal with his son becoming this evil cult leader almost. So nice. I think that would be kind of cool, and that's especially
that's good.
Yeah, that was the whole show. It's like they're kind of like betrayed that like there's some propaganda to portray them as that, and it would be what if that was true? That would be kind of fun. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That was my first one, Dougram, and I wouldn't want to see what they could do with an unbeatable mech who's bent on destruction. They destroyed a lot of cities anyways, and that's just being good guys. So Pat, what about your first one?
All right, so like I said, this came about from talking about Star Trek over the Memorial, because Don used to be a good buddy, or used to be a good friend of, used to be a fan of Star Trek, and that led to talking about Discovery and how we liked Michelle Yeoh as the evil Michelle Yeoh. She does it so well. It's crazy how well she plays.
She was almost boring as the good captain.
Yeah, she plays the evil biatch so well. That's the best part I loved about Discovery was her character. So then, that led me to think about what would, if we did mirror universes, how would other things. So I chose, of course, BattleTech. I wanted to, and I was kind of sketching in my head, how would that mirror universe BattleTech? Because it's a lot of houses. And so then I went with all the houses were warring at one point. And then, of course, I picked House Steiner to win and conquer all house. But let me just point out that I chose House Steiner not because they're my favorite house, but they have the actual house symbol, which would look like to be a totalitarian empire symbol.
The Iron Fist, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me just that's the reason why I chose House Steiner, because their mailed gauntlet fist looks like an empire kind of symbol. And they had, so in my head, I'm thinking they conquer all 5 houses in the inner sphere. And then each house becomes a section of that empire. Like, oh Christ, who's the other house, the other good house that was aligned with Steiner?
Davians?
Yeah, the House Davian.
Federated Sons. Yeah.
The Federated Sons would become the standard army. You know, they were the fighting force of the Steiner Empire. House Lau would be the science division. Kirita would be the espionage version, or the SS version of the what do they call that in Hitler in the Nazi Germany? The guys that would hunt people down.
Yeah, the SS.
Like the SS.
Or the Gestapo.
Like the Gestapo, yeah, of that empire, because you could just see the House Steiner.
I can see your loyalties shining through. You think the Kirita's that bad? That's so funny.
And then, Steiner just, filling in the forces behind Federated Sons.
And obviously you've murdered all the Free Worlds League people.
Yes, definitely.
No reason to keep those guys around.
No, not at all. They conquered all the... Now, I didn't want to leave everyone out of thing because, again, this in my head was born from the discussion we had at my best friend's memorial, and Don was a good Ghost Bear fan in BattleTech when we played BattleTech. So House Steiner is now being challenged at this point by the clans coming back, trying to bring back the old ways, quote unquote, of the inner sphere, and trying to free all the houses.
So the clans are the good guys.
Yes.
that is good going against your...
in a sense, yeah. But, but you have to have an antagonist at some point, right? To make the stories work.
Well, you have to have Yeah, not necessarily good guys and bad guys. It's protagonist and antagonist for sure.
Protagonist and antagonist.
Yeah, and the clans aren't the way the clans are in the way Kerensky wanted them to work, They're just now remnants of of the different houses.
Almost like pirates.
Broken away. Yeah.
They fell apart.
All
they never
working,
got brought together. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're coming back home to try and bring back the old ways.
Yeah, that's cool. Because it is interesting to think of the clans. If Nicholas Kerensky hadn't brought them all together as clans, and they were at the time they're all fighting each other. If instead they organized as like bandit kingdoms almost.
Yeah. And
then Ghost Bear's got enough control to persuade them to try to go back and take Terra back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
And they see how House Steiner has become the ruling gauntlet, crushing.
Yeah.
But that was yeah. That's how I envisioned my BattleTech Marine Universe of the look.
Nice.
Brian, you got another one?
Might take me a second to come up with another one.
All right, let's move on to Rob then. Rob.
Yeah.
I also had a BattleTech one. Mine was the Capellans are the good guys fighting against the tyranny of the Federated Commonwealth, and as some people actually see it that way, which is disturbing. But and Victor is the despot who wiped out all the clans and is trying to rule the inner sphere with an iron fist. The iron fist comes back, so it's turning on the head. Victor's got his goatee going, and instead of being the consummate good guy, he's decided to be more like his sister and rule it with an iron thumb. He brought Comstar and Federated Commonwealth, made them all together, wiped out the Kuritas and the Free Worlds League, and the poor Capellans are all that's left against him in total control. It's hard for me to say those words, but but that would be my second one. That was a quickie.
Yeah.
Pat, you got another one?
Yeah, I do. And I, of course, went to my original would be Gundam. Mm-hmm. And in this universe, the Feddies are as bad as the...
Once again, people see it that way.
I was going to say, is this really a mirror universe? Or is it the universe looking in a mirror?
Exactly. So the Feddies are as bad as them. They're ruling with Iron Fist. Now they're really dominating because now they have this undefeatable Gundam that's decimating Zeon forces. But in this mirror universe, it's not what's his face, Amon Ray.
Yeah.
That's driving it. It's his dad.
Ah, a little like Batman switcheroo there. Huh?
Yeah, so his dad is running it.
Because his son was killed.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
that's a
Because his son
Flashpoint
was killed in the Zeon attack. Yeah.
That's what
So
Batman in Flashpoint is Bruce's father, who was Thomas Wayne, because
Yes.
his mother becomes the Joker because Bruce is killed in
yes,
the
she
alley.
loses it.
Yeah, so it's a similar idea.
So he's now piloting it, and the Zeon army is losing fiercely because of this. But only tides start to turn because a new hero pilot for Zeon is born with the name of Char, who's able to hold off Gundam in most battles using regular.
The Red Comet,
What are their mechs called in Gundam?
Zaku's?
Zaku's, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are the robots in general called in Gundam?
Mobile suit?
Mobile suits.
Yeah.
God, why couldn't I remember
It
that?
is called Mobile Suit Gundam.
Well, I mean, but then, are they calling the Zaku's and the
yeah.
Zombies? Are they
There's
calling
lots of
them?
names, yeah.
So I think the generic term is just mobile suit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have this new hero pilot, Char, who is holding off the Gundam in just ordinary mobile suits until the final battle where the mobile suit, the Zhang, and the Gundam face off.
Very nice.
So, and that's my mirror. I think that would be a really good story
Mm-hmm.
in a sense because, like you said, it's never really said that the Fetties are as bad as anything, but then when you get to the planet, you're like, oh, maybe they are as bad as people say they are.
They are
Right.
pretty bad. But I'm amazed they haven't done, because they've done quite a few alternate universes, but not that kind of thing where they've gone back and redone
Yeah,
the
well,
original
I mean-
story from a different point of view.
You even read, didn't Robotech do one you said in a comic book?
Yes, yeah, that's right. In it wasn't like a mirror universe exactly, but there was alternate universe comic book. Yep.
Yeah, wasn't she the only one who remembered how it used to be?
Yeah, it got changed. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but yeah, the daughter of Mira.
Claudia.
No, not Claudia. It's Mira and what's the other guy? Guy with blue hair.
Oh, Max.
Max and Mira's daughter. She's
Ah.
so it's,
You'll have to be more specific because I think in both timelines they have like 12 kids.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the yeah, it's one of the daughters. Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the story too. Was that there wasn't as many kids, but anyway, because they never got together. That's what it was. Because she changed history. The parents.
Oh no,
hated
it's a
each
Back
other.
to the Future moment.
Yeah, it was kind of yeah. Yeah.
You have a second one yet?
No, I've been trying to think of like a Macross one, but I keep just having it become like a crossover with Robotech, and like so they like summon Robotech, into the Macross universe or vice versa.
That'd be funny, yeah, because it's like two different characterizations. That'd be kind of fun, actually.
Yeah,
That actually is pretty fun.
coupled with like I forget if like Robotech didn't quite keep the whole theme of like music.
No, so imagine the Robotech people like, what the hell are they singing?
What is that music?
Yeah,
Oh,
you'd be
it's
freaked
so
out.
loud and angry.
I mean, if you really wanted to do the mirror universe and kind of mirror how it is today, you could make one of the two the evil side, like the
Yeah.
Robotech is the evil version that gets moved into Macross.
And it's all this is orchestrated by a giant enemy known only as HG.
So, do you have another
Hi
one?
God? No, Harmony Gold.
That's funny. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I got one last one. It's for Redline, actually. So in regular Redline, the UNE are on Earth, and the Crimson Pact on Mars, which was China and Russia went to Mars, and they're fighting each other. And then there's the third faction, was the Brimia. They were like Brazil and a bunch of other states, like all the rich states. They were the highly advanced people. They just left. So in my version, it's the UNE who were forced to flee to Mars after Brimia wiped out the Chinese and Russians. So the UNE is forced to fight a guerrilla war against a vastly advanced enemy. And you can get, like, have, because the Brimea was so much more advanced, that you could have really cool, like, different mechs, like almost like anime mechs versus the more real robots of the UNE. So, and they're just trying to hold out on Mars and try to take the Earth back. Kind of like Exo Squad, actually, now I think about it. And, yeah, I think it would really be a different world. The beauty of Redline is it's pretty new, but it's got a vast, like
yeah, there's a solid background. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool that
I like the anime versus real robot.
Yeah. So the Brimea can be like real, like almost like maybe squid monsters or like squid mechs or something, causing trouble. But the idea that you'd have to fight, it'd be like, I don't like one-sided fights, or I mean like even fights so much. I like in stories how one side's at a real disadvantage. So I think they would cause a lot more tension in the chance of winning. And somehow they'd figure it out. By music, probably.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's right. So there you go. That was my last one. Anybody else have any others?
No.
I'm good.
All right. Well, that wraps up the Mech Bay Hangar. That was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it was
some nice alternatives.
Yeah, it's fun just because as people talk, you're like, oh, you could do this, then you can do that. It's like throwing ideas out. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. All right, so let's wrap up here and let's head to the Xville.
Let's Xville out of here.
All right, welcome to the Xville, guys. So that wraps up Season 5, Episode 1, or Episode 49 if you like numbers.
In the mirror universe where we use seasons instead.
Exactly, in our mirror universe we use seasons.
The evil mirror universe where we use seasons.
Well, Rob will be on next month to host our milestone episode.
Why is it a milestone? Oh, it's 50.
Is it? Yeah.
I guess it's a milestone.
In the mirror universe where we just count them.
Yeah.
50. It's not. It's only 50. But yeah. Good for a monthly podcast to get to 50. It's not bad, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's been a good 5 years. Let's continue to do well. We really do appreciate you guys listening and hanging out and chatting and sharing different things on our Facebook pages and stuff. Continue to do so. I really do like seeing the new stuff that we get every once in a while. It's nice to see some of these game developers reaching out to us now and wanting to talk about their games. And it's nice to see more mech models and more mech games coming out. So,
yeah.
And I don't think we are responsible for it, but I do like the fact that we play a part in spreading the word.
We jumped on that train.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
Love, Death, and Robots.
Did we talk about last week? Last month?
I thought you talked about last week.
Last month?
Yeah. Didn't it come out in the middle of June?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, a quick one. There was no real robots in it, so we can't really talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't see a robot yet, so...
There was a scorpion robot-y thing they used to hunt mice.
Okay,
nice.
That's true. That one episode, yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah,
it was good. I liked the episodes.
And then John Bear Ross took it and made it bigger.
Yeah.
The one with it was very like Cthulhu versus Doom. That was like, or I guess like Gears of War. That was a fun episode. I'd love to see a series like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with that, I think, is that some of them you're like, oh, I wish there was more. Like,
right. And then, it's done.
We'll see if it gets another season, though, the way Netflix is going.
They fired a lot of the animation department, so I would be very surprised if any animation projects get second seasons, or first seasons, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you guys again, like I said, for listening. I've been your host, Chopper.
I've been Brian.
I'm Rob.
And we'll see you guys in another 30 days.
Well, by that, it's... we got to record right before Gen Con next time, otherwise we won't get one out, so...
That's true.
We'll have to figure that one out.
That's fair.
Yeah. So we'll see you then, guys. Thanks for listening.
Come visit us at Gen Con in the Mantic booth. Me and Pat will be there at least.
Yes.
Yep, have fun, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at @MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the first of every month for more mecha discussion.